Crash Bandicoot is back in a time-bending adventure featuring an expanded cast and 5 playable characters. If you're new to the series, here's a closer look at the good guys, the villains, and the oddballs you'll meet in Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time. The hero and lover of Wumpa fruit, Crash is a furry tornado whose playful curiosity often gets him into trouble. He was once an ordinary Bandicoot, until he was captured and experimented on by Dr. Neo CORTEX, who planned to make Crash the leader of a mutated animal army. Yep, that guy. Crash's signature spin and jump attack can take down foes, and he can move around levels by ziplining, rail grinding, rope swinging, and wall running. Plus, there are 4 new quantum masks to help him bend the rules of time and space. Crash's younger sister COCO is extremely intelligent and has a love of technology. Like her brother, COCO is genetically enhanced by CORTEX, which explains her super high IQ and human-like characteristics. You can play the entire game as COCO. She has the same skills as Crash, and both have a bunch of unlockable skins to show off their dashes, spins, and wall runs in style. Supervillain Dr. Neo Periwinkle CORTEX spent a tormented youth being teased for being a science geek by his family of circus performers. After a freak explosion wiped out his entire family, CORTEX pursued world domination by attempting to build a mutated animal army, abducting Crash and zapping him with his Evolvo Ray. But Crash escaped and as a result became his defiant nemesis. CORTEX can air dash and use his laser cannon to turn enemies into platforms or jump pads, suggesting he's not yet overcome the desire to walk all over people. DINGODILE is a mammal reptile thing with a checkered past. He's retired from a life of villainy to open a diner and become a legitimate and respectable business owner. Unfortunately, his diner goes up in smoke when the diner explodes due to the fallout from CORTEX's latest world domination scheme. And so he's here, tail slapping, air gunning, and hover jumping his way to revenge. Although Crash fans will recognise her from the original PS1 games, this iteration of TAWNA hails from a different dimension, and is more likely to do the rescuing herself. She's one of Crash 4's playable characters, who uses her hookshot to flip switches and grapple to distant platforms, while her wall jump and karate kicks mark her as a marsupial not to be messed with. Dr. Nefarious Tropy, Entropy for short, is the self-proclaimed master of time and CORTEX's partner in crime. Having escaped from an interdimensional prison and ripped a hole in the fabric of space-time, along with CORTEX and the villainous voodoo mask Uka Uka, Entropy is now intent on domination of every dimension across the multiverse. Yikes! Dr. Engine is one of Crash's more unstable enemies, even though he somehow achieved a doctorate. His overly elaborate plans often involve wacky intentions with too many glaring weak spots. Just like this giant drum-playing robot, complete with oversized speakers, deadly cyclones, fake crowd, and self-destructive tendencies. Engine's creations are just as likely to harm himself as they are Crash and his pals. Studying alongside Dr. CORTEX and Engine at the Academy of Evil, BRIO has worked for, with, and against his former classmates throughout the series' history. BRIO is famed for his volatile chemical concoctions, often flinging the explosive results at Crash and his cohorts. He's also partial to ingesting the contents of his beakers and transforming into hulking brutes and other, less effective final forms. Aku Aku and Uka Uka are diametrically opposed voodoo mask twins, forever destined to be on opposing sides. Where Uka Uka is short-tempered, malevolent, and bent on conquering everything, Aku Aku guides Crash in thwarting his brother's efforts, and is the source of one of the most iconic and upbeat voice lines in video games.
What have I got?
With its colourful cast and outlandish new powers, Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time is out now on PS4 and Xbox One. For more on Crash's latest adventure, including 8 things you need to know about the game, stick with IGN.